Hello साथीहरु, Namaste and welcome. Let's talk about verb today, okay? So a verb in English is a word that shows an action, a state or a condition. It tells us what the subject does or what happens to the subject. Okay? So subject ma ho भने what am I doing? म कुराकानी गरिरहेको छु. I'm talking to you. So talk, कुरा गर्नु. Talking, okay? कुरा गरिरहेको. So that's verb. It talks about where I am, what's my state, what is my condition, what am I doing, म के गरिरहेको छु भन्ने कुरा चाहिँ बताउँछ verb ले, है? So there are so many verbs. यो भिडियो इन्जोय गर्नु होला verb को बारेमा अझै बढी जानकारी लिनको लागि. Thank you. Enjoy the video.
Hey everyone and welcome. Today we're going to dive deep into what I think is the absolute heart of English grammar, the engine of every single sentence, the verb. Honestly, without a verb, a sentence just isn't a sentence. So, let's get right into it. To really get what I'm talking about, let's start with a little puzzle. Just take a look at the screen. What's the one crucial piece that's missing from this group of words? You see it, right? She, fast. It just feels empty, doesn't it? It's like a car that's missing its engine. There's no action, no life, no real meaning. It's just hanging there, waiting for something to happen. And boom, there it is, the word runs. All of a sudden, the sentence springs to life. We have movement, we have a clear picture in our heads. That one little word is the engine that drives the whole thing forward. And that engine, my friends, is what we call a verb. So, what exactly is a verb officially? Well, as you can see here in both English and Nepali, it's a word that shows one of three things: an action, like runs, a state of being, like the word is, or some kind of condition. Put simply, it's the word that tells you what's going on. And here are a couple of perfect examples that show how different verbs can be. In I eat rice, the verb eat is a clear physical action. You can picture it. But in he is happy, the verb isn't an action at all. It's describing his state of being. Both are totally essential, which brings us to our first big distinction. So, this leads us to our first major category. We can basically split most verbs into two simple groups: verbs that show someone doing something and verbs that show someone being something. Let's break that down. On one side, you've got your action verbs. These are the doing words we were just talking about. They show a physical or even a mental action. Things like write, run, think. But on the other side, you have stative verbs. These words describe a state, a feeling, or a condition. Words like, know, or believe. See the difference? One is about action, the other is about a state of being. Now here's the really crucial thing to remember about stative verbs. Because they describe a condition and not some dynamic action, there's a very important rule. We almost never use them in continuous tenses. For example, you wouldn't say, I am knowing the answer. That's a super common mistake. You just say, I know the answer. Simple as that. Okay, let's move on to our next category. See, not all verbs are the star of the show. Some of them have a really important supporting role. They either help the main verb or they connect different parts of the sentence. First up, we've got helping verbs, or sahayak kriya in Nepali. If you want to get technical, they're also called auxiliary verbs. But honestly, their job is right there in the name. They help the main verb out by adding extra information, usually about the timing or the tense of the action. Let's look at a really simple sentence. She finished work. Here, our main verb is finished. It's clear, it's simple, we know it happened in the past. But what if we want to be more specific? What if we want to add another layer of meaning to show that the action was just recently completed and it's important now? How do we do that? Well, we do it by adding a helping verb. By popping has right before finished, we get she has finished work. That one tiny word, has, helps the main verb and gives the sentence this whole new shade of meaning. It really shows you how powerful these little helper words are. And this table here makes that relationship super clear. In a sentence like, I am eating rice, the main action, the main verb, is eating. But am is the helper that tells us it's happening right now. Or in, he has gone home, gone is the main verb, and has is the helper. Easy, right? Now, the other type of support verb is the linking verb. These guys don't show any action at all. Instead, they act like a little equal sign in the sentence. They connect the subject of the sentence to more information about that subject. So in he is tired, the verb is just links he to the word tired. Essentially, he equals tired. All right, we're on to our final category, For this one, we're going to look at a verb's relationship with the rest of the sentence. And we ask a simple question. Does this verb need something to receive its action? In other words, does it need an object? So this question gives us two more types of verbs. First, you have transitive verbs. These verbs absolutely need an object to make sense. If I just say, she reads, your brain immediately asks, reads what? The action needs to go somewhere. The answer, a book, is the object. But then you have intransitive verbs, which are perfectly happy on their own. He sleeps. That's it. The sentence is complete. The action doesn't transfer to anything else.
And there you have it. That's the whole shebang. Let's do a super quick recap. We've got action and stative verbs, doing versus being. We have helping and linking verbs, the ones that support and connect. And finally, transitive and intransitive verbs, the ones that tell us if an object is needed or not.
So why does all of this grammar stuff even matter? Well, it all comes down to this final, really powerful point you see right here. Verbs are the engine of how we communicate. If you can really get a handle on verbs, you can build clear, powerful, and confident sentences. Understanding them isn't just about passing a test. It's about unlocking your ability to speak English and to speak it well.